Hi, I'm Kelly. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We are working through our anti-office yoga, and today we're going to focus on tight hamstrings. So sitting in a chair all day can really shorten the hamstrings so that when you want to go running or cycling or doing other things outside of your desk job, it can really cause injuries. We're going to start with two foams in a forward fold position. I want you to put the foams in this slanted position, and we're going to have the feet right on the edge. So you can see I'm just turning the heels out, big toes in. This is because in our everyday life, the chairs make our skin direction of our legs turn outwards. And what we want to do is move the thighs back in line with the knee joint and the hip joint. So we'll bring our hands to our hips. And then really lift the chest. And then we're going to fold at the hips. So not only might you be feeling this in your hamstrings, this is also wonderful for the calves as well. And just have the hands to the back of the legs. Keep your kneecaps lifted and keep moving the thighs back. Little bend in the elbows. And just take a couple of breaths here. And just notice as you breathe in, just the length that happens in the body with the in-breath. And as you exhale, see whether you can move into the stretch a little bit deeper, just filling in that space that you're creating. And then to come out the pose, bring the hands to the hips, and then leading with the head and chest. Come up to standing, and then come off the block. We'll come down into a seated position, and you need one foam and one belt. If you're very stiff in the hamstrings, I would maybe use two foams. So I'll show you from the side. By sitting up on the block, it really gives us length in the lower back, and I'd recommend you check into the back episode as well, because that will really help. The hamstrings, the hips and the back are also interconnected. Bring your belt around the soles of the feet. And like I was talking about earlier, in the office, our legs end up going like this, and you can see what happens to my knee joint when I do that. So you need to just move the hamstrings out to the side so that your kneecaps are pointing towards the ceiling. We'll lift the arms to get length in the side body, and then exhale, come forwards. Have a piece of the belt in each hand and lift the chest. So move the shoulders back and down and keep moving forwards and up. So I want you to be really working this middle back, and instead make sure that you're really long in the back rather than this habitual hunch that we get. So work this upper middle back, extend forwards and up, and keep working into the hamstrings, inhaling into this side chest, and exhale, coming deeper into the pose. Make sure you've got one long line of toes. So notice if your feet and the tightness in the body is making your feet go in strange positions. And then after our 5 breaths, let's open and spread the fingers wide and down. And then we're going to take our belt and our blocks and come down onto our back. So lying on your back, have your foam. The foam's going to go on the side of the hip. But you don't need to lift the hips or anything. You just need to lift the skin and move the foam. And I'm going to do my right leg first. So you lift the right leg and have the belt around the ball of the foot, and then keep the chest lifted and just feel as you point the toes into like a break position, and then flex the toes towards you. So just do a few of these. Keep the hips and the heels in line. So if you're very mobile, maybe your leg is here, I want you to find that correct alignment for the hips and the heels. And if you're very stiff and you're finding that you can't straighten your knee at all, just have a little bit of a longer belt and you can move the heel slightly further away from you. So I don't mind what position, just make sure that the alignment is right for you and that your kneecap is strong and straight. And then we're going to turn the leg. We'll lengthen the left leg, and the block is really going to support our hips as we really work these hamstrings to bring the heel out to the side and up towards the right armpit. And then after a couple of breaths, and I'm keeping my left hand on the top of the left hip so that my hips don't move. So you want to be long in the left leg, you want to keep the left hip down, maybe you're shaking a bit like me, that's fine, and then bring the right leg back to the center. Take a piece of the belt in each hand and see whether you can bring your nose to the knee, and then head and shoulders back down. And as you release the belt, leading with the heel, bring the leg all the way down, and then you can relax the leg and just notice the difference between the two legs. And then bring the right knee to the chest and bring the right foot down. So you move your foam to the left side now, and you see I didn't lift my hips at all, they're still even. I just slid the foam next to the hip, left leg in the air, and we'll do a few of these point and flex. So just notice how the stretch changes as you point the toes towards your face and then point the toes towards the ceiling. And then bring both pieces of the belt into your left hand. Right leg is straight. Turn the left hip and then bring the left leg over and up. So if you notice that your knee starts to bend, that's as far as you need to come. And if you notice that your right hip starts to lift, then you know that that's as far as you can be. So keep really rotating the left leg out, keep the right hip down, keep the right leg really strong and straight as you bring that left leg up towards your left armpit. And then bring the left leg back to the center. Take a piece of the belt in each hand, bring your nose to your knee, and then move the foam, and you release the belt, and leading with the heel, bring the leg all the way down, and just take a deep breath in and out where all the muscles in the legs are relaxed. And then bring your left knee into the chest. Give it a big squeeze, and bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat. So if you've got more time, you can take a quick Shavasana here. I always recommend 2 minutes. I would also recommend checking in with the back episode. Thanks so much for tuning in today. That was our episode for our legs. After a long day sitting in the office, we just release our hamstrings in those super easy 3 episodes. Please check in the description box where I will link to other episodes in this series. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on the mat, and please subscribe for more tips and videos coming soon. Thank you.